with the starting screen. Let's do this. Let's transition. I need to get that stupid audio zinger in here already. God damn. Welcome, everybody, and hello. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Webcomics Hubcast. Episode, what fucking episode are we on, actually? 7? 8? Last time was a 6.5, so it's 7. Yeah, it's 7. Episode 7. Episode 7. I'm glad to have all of you here. I'm so happy to have all of you here with me now, experiencing what I am experiencing. Episode 69. Hey, welcome, Ruli. Nice to meet a new person. They do upload the Creator Summit videos at some point. We'll get to that. Anyway, so today's episode is episode 7 of the Webcomics Hubcast. I don't have a name for it, unfortunately, yet. So we'll name it at the end, probably, and then I'll put it in the title. Today I want to talk about Anime Expo. As I said earlier, I want to talk a little bit about Anime Expo, a lot more about the WEBTOON Creator Summit. I want to talk a little bit about some comics that have currently been closed and ending on the WEBTOON front page. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about traditional comics. I hope you don't hate me for that, but I do think traditional comics are interesting. And there's always a little bit of something to talk about that I'm always a little bit interested in. And finally, I also wanted to talk to you guys about a really good book that I've been reading. We were supposed to do a book review last week. I know it was the book review week last week, and I got busy. So I'm still doing the book review, just not as much of the book review, because I couldn't actually get to it because I was sick. I had third COVID. Yeah. Also, Lil Rue. I'm gonna call you Little Rue because I can't say your name right, and I'm sorry. That's such a white person thing to do. Just take someone's name and ruin it, and then just be like, I'll say that now against your will. I'm sorry. That's not very nice. I'll try and say your name right myself. But yeah, you can ask questions if you want. You can ask whatever questions you want at any point, although I may not answer them. I may not answer them at all, or I may not answer them for a little bit. So I hope you'll be able to accept that and live with that. Anyway, friends, countrymen, lend me your ears. Today, we are going to be I want to start with Anime Expo. Did you guys see the crowds? Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. And did you guys know that it got so bad that the LA Convention Center and the fire marshals had to stop people from going in because Anime Expo were so poorly managed that they had overcrowded the building. Hold on, let me actually check something. Capacity of LA Convention Center. I knew it. LA Convention Center has a walking capacity of 10,000 people, and they overloaded 10,000 people space. Like, what the fuck? I'm slowly losing my mind because I was watching this happen on Twitter, and I didn't understand the scope until some of my friends who went there told me what happened and how poorly managed it was. You know, that was the food thing. They were taking away people who were doing tables and people who were managing stalls and stuff. They were taking away their food. And they were also overloading the building. The foot traffic was crazy, and a lot of people got COVID already. Like, I don't know what the number exactly is. There's an app that people are using to track the people who are at tables are using to track other members of the other people who are selling stuff and whether they got COVID. But apparently the number is quite high. Not like crazy high, not like 70% or something, but I know it's high enough. It's a high enough number, as in it's more than 0, which is too high. Don't you need to buy tickets to go to Anime Expo? You do need to buy tickets to go to Anime Expo. So they already knew how many people they were getting, and they could have easily managed for that. They just got greedy. It was very poorly managed. The food situation was so stupid. The food situation where they throw away people's food or they stop them from going in with their food. I'm not sure which one of the two it is, but I do know essentially people who were running tables and selling stuff weren't allowed to take food in the first day, although that was fixed the next day. It was apparently a quote unquote miscommunication. And I don't know how you miscommunicate that fucking bad on literally one of the biggest conventions in the entire world. Like, what are you doing? And I saw an artist on Twitter had their wallet stolen by one of the volunteers. Okay, look, the food one is horrible. The overcrowding is horrible. The stolen wallet is funny. I'm so sorry. I don't want to laugh at someone. I don't think it's their fault or anything. It's just really funny to me. It's just something that, like, my brain heard that and laughed, and I couldn't help myself. I really apologize. They got their fucking wallet stolen. What a day. What a trip. Imagine you spend, like, what's the average cost of a flight from, like, Oregon? The volunteer decided to get paid. Thank you, Sean. Flight from Oregon to California. So you take a flight from Oregon to California. You spend 200 pounds. That's about $250 or whatever. About $220, $240. You spend $240 to fly down to fucking California, right? You fly down to California, you get into the place, you go to the con. You go to the con, you're trying to sell your shit, you break even, barely, and then you're leaving, and then some fucking volunteer robs you blind. Someone really goes into their thief cosplay and robs you. We're talking about Anime Expo, Rue. We're talking about Anime Expo. Someone at Anime Expo got robbed. That's what it is. That's all we're talking about. A creator at Anime Expo got robbed by one of the volunteers of the event convention. So the person who was helping run the event. I'm sure the Anime Expo will give that volunteer a good talking to. 100% they will. They'll probably fire him, and they'll try to get the money back. I genuinely believe Anime Expo will do their due diligence. But I'm not going to be joking to say that very little will come of their due diligence. Like, like they're a big org and they can afford to do their due diligence. Also, if you're looking at the screen right now, Rue, if you look behind my avatar, you're going to see like a freaking image in the background. That's just a picture of a giant of how dense it was in there, like how insanely dense it was in there. Remember, guys, we're still in the middle of COVID, and there's already 2 new COVID strains. By the way, keep safe. The 2 new COVID strains seem pretty dangerous, so please keep safe. Still try and wear your masks when you're in highly populated areas. Make sure you still test at least once a week. You know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, like, you know, they were in highly populated, highly dense areas, dense areas. And the people got COVID. People have COVID now. Woo! Like, fuck. So stupid. It was so dumb. I hope the volunteers were having a power trip. I wish I saw more. I didn't care enough about this to, like, pay attention. I only kind of skimmed the surface. So forgive me for not having the detailed knowledge, but it is very funny to me. It is my kind of humor. Anyone who's been watching the stream for a while knows that this is the kind of thing I laugh at. This is the kind of thing I think is funny. Just stupid shit happening. Not the COVID thing, but just stupid shit happening is something I think is absolutely hilarious. It's my thing. It's my jam. It's my bread and butter. Okay, cool. That's the pointless thing. We've talked about the dumb thing that I thought was funny. Let's get to the more interesting, funny thing that I thought was good for the most part. This is the part where I talk about the WEBTOON Creator Summit 2022. Actually, before that, did anyone attend the How to Make Webcomics workshop at Anime Expo? No, I didn't, actually. Of course I didn't. I didn't go. Did you? Was it broadcast live? That would be really interesting to see. I would be very interested to actually watch that. Why is Twitch chat so volatile? There's only like 6 people in Twitch chat, and they're all horrible to me. Love the meme break segment of the show. Isn't my whole life a meme break? Anyway, so I'd actually really like to see that, Luxava. If you get footage of that, ping it over to me. I should also say thank you to Lux. Since we're talking about Luxava, I just need to say thank you real quick. Thank you to Luxava for sending me some really, really powerful webcomics, which I have all read as of this week. I finally put some time in while I was sick to read them. Thank you so much for sending me those. When I get to another video I do on webcomics submitted for the contest, I will talk about the ones you told me. I appreciate it. More people should send me them. If you have a comic that's in the contest, or you know someone with a comic in the contest, ping it over to me so I can look at it, so I can talk about it if I like it. And if I don't like it, I just won't talk about it. Hold on, let me just read chat one more thing before I go into WEBTOON Creator Summit. Someone reported the security was harassing one person for buying a cardboard cutout of a VTuber. They ended up damaging it after finding out that he bought it. That is hilarious. What's my favorite webcomic? I feel really bad because that's a really simple question and I don't have an answer to it because I'm too busy being upset about a lot of things. If I had to really pick one, like right now, gun to my head right now, I pick one. I'm probably gonna pick the comic made by a very close friend of mine who I liked before I became her friend anyway. Blackburn, which is really good. Blackburn, the webtoon, it's in Canvas. It's actually too good. It's really fucking good. It tells a really good story. It's written by a really competent and very skilled writer. She's very good. If I had to pick another one, none of the comics I will ever pick, by the way, are things I've made, and I've made a few comics now. If I had to really pick another one, it would be a comic from Marvin. It's called Humor Me. If you don't know Humor Me is an incredible comic. And if you were going to read any comic, it's those two. I always say, read Humor Me, read Blackburn. They're written by very, very skilled, very, very competent creators. And I have a lot of respect for both of them. It's unordinary, don't lie to us. Georgie, I can ban you from chat. You absolute animal. Get out. Leave these hallowed halls. Oh my God. Humor Me is so good. Those are usually my top two. My top two are Canvas comics. I'm a big fan of things that are interesting in unique ways. Everything that's like I like unique art styles, I like unique looks. So there. But anyway, let me not get into this whole comic thing. I came here to talk about a specific topic. The WEBTOON Creator. Hold on, give me a second. Let me just do the image where it looks like it's the Creator Summit. Yay! Hey! Yay! It's gonna be on the screen now. Woo! Creator Summit, these nuts. Okay, cool. So I went to the WEBTOON Creator Summit. It was pretty fun. I just wanted to show you the page. I went to the WEBTOON Creator Summit. I read all of it. I said read all. I watched most of it. There was only one thing I didn't watch from the entire Creator Summit. I was in every room at once. I have three. I literally unpacked the two monitors I have hidden in the back room. So I had 4 monitors on my desk at one point, and just watched everything I could at once, that I could absorb at once. I was quite brain into the game right there. And I have some things to talk about. Let's talk about a few things. So the WEBTOON Creator Summit this year, I just want to say really quick, was really fucking good. 2022 WEBTOON Creator Summit was actually really good. I wouldn't call it like great. I wouldn't say it was something that like I really, really admired and enjoyed and thought it was the best thing ever, but it was very good. I really, really liked it. Like, it was actually quite strange because I went to the one last year. I went to the one last year in 2021. It sucked ass. I'm just gonna say real talk. 2021 WEBTOON Creator Summit was shit. I hated it. It fucking sucked. I didn't enjoy a single moment of it. I wasted my time when I went to that one. And I went to that one too. The whole thing. I watched it with the lads, with some of my friends. It sucked. This year was such a step up. Like, it was such a step up that in comparison, it was the difference between watching a terribly animated show by a child on YouTube and watching like Miraculous Ladybug. Like, that's how intense it was. Plot develop. Let me go down all of the different things that I went to, because I went to a few of them. So first, it was better than Morbius. It was better than Morbius. I've attracted a meme lord in my chat, and it's causing me pain. First one was the first panel, not the keynote, but the plot development panel by Peter Gamble. It was good. There was not much to say about it. I didn't really learn a lot in it. This is one of the problems I'm gonna keep saying as I go along. I think what's happened, and a friend really helped me kind of condense this. I have reached a certain level in my knowledge where it's really hard to teach me new stuff, not because I'm so good, but because I'm beyond the bottom. I'm like at a point where it's hard to teach me new things. I'm like entering intermediate, I guess, maybe. So it's really hard to teach me new things. Or tell me things I've never heard. But it does not mean that the things they said weren't useful. They were all really useful. I didn't learn anything new. I'd worked in film. I'd heard all these things before. I read all the books. So it was, it wasn't new information for me. So Peter Gamble's plot development workshop, not really new, but also wasn't amazing. Like, it was fine. There was a color theory for storytelling by Adin Days. Adin Days, that's how he says his name. Really nice person. It was relatively advanced, as in it was talking about some really interesting and advanced concepts, but for me, it did a lot more than I thought it would. But also, I'm better off figuring colors out myself. I'm colorblind, figuring out how to use them myself. But no, I found it to be useful. I think if there's anything you're gonna watch, that should be one of them. When Webtoon uploads the videos, if there's anything you're gonna watch, that should be one of them. I tried to download the videos this time, like I did last year, and I couldn't. I'm gonna figure out how to do that next year. I just didn't have enough time to figure it out this year. Last year I downloaded the entire thing and then I watched it on my own, and it was meh. That's why I know it wasn't good. The character design panel with Chuck Santos. Chuck is very, very knowledgeable. If you're gonna watch that one, I want you to know this. The character design with Chuck Santos. Chuck Santos is a very knowledgeable animator, very knowledgeable character designer. He understands. He knows so much. I just think he didn't have enough time. He only had about an hour. I don't think he had enough time to get across a lot of his ideas. But he put out quite a lot of interesting stuff. It wasn't super high level. It was just good, meaningful shit. If you already know it, it's gonna make you feel better about what you know. If you don't already know it, it's gonna make you smarter. So it's, as a teacher, I found his delivery to be pretty goddamn good, right? When it came to talking about perspective, there was the one with Wook Jin Clark. This was my favorite one. I will actually say Wook Jin is really, really smart. I don't actually know his full name. I know he has an English name, and they said his English name in the thing, and I've completely forgotten. But Wook Jin is, I hope I'm saying it right. Wook Jin Clark is really smart, really, really good. He talks about 1 point and 2 point perspective and how to use it in storytelling. It was so goddamn good. Like, I really, really liked it. I knew some of it. I didn't know all of it, but I wasn't like super surprised by anything he said. Anyone could have figured it out. But it was all really, really good, well delivered, well organized. Dude knows his stuff. Dude knows how to deliver his stuff. Dude just is, he's on the right plane. Like, if you're only going to watch one of the videos from the workshops, that's the one you should watch. Wook Jin Clark perspective. It was so good. Like, it was worth it. Hands on the best one out there. Creative lettering was the next one. I didn't go to it. Someone I know did go to it. They said it was kind of basic. I didn't go to it. Carla McNeil is a professor. She's real smart. But I didn't get any of her knowledge. I don't know if it was good. I'm not going to really give an opinion on it at all. There was the one about working with an editor. Bree Boswell was also very smart, very knowledgeable, knows her shit. Just didn't give me a lot. It wasn't anything to do with her. Just wasn't stuff I hadn't heard before. But she was very competent, and also the stuff I really wanted to learn, she wasn't really putting out there, and that was all it was. In their office hours, they answered some questions. I found them to be interesting answers to some interesting questions. But all in all, no one asked anything like hard. Like the entire conference, everyone was being really nice, which is fine and good. But nobody ever asked any difficult questions. Nobody tried to get at some difficult points. And I know why, because, it's a public event. You're trying to be a nice person and everything. I get it. I wanted to be annoying and ask difficult questions, but I didn't want them to know I was there for a lot of little reasons I don't want to tell you guys. Nothing bad, but I just didn't want them to know I was there. So I just shut up and kept to myself. Only one person knew I was there, and that was the person giving out codes for free Webtoon merch. Which reminds me, where is it? There it is. Who wants my code for 30% off Webtoon merch? Because I'm not getting any, so who wants it? Literally, the first person that says yes, I will DM it to you on Discord. The first person that says yes gets it on Discord right now. Or I'll just post it in chat, and then you can take it if you want. I don't really want it. Webtoon merch exists. It's on shop.webtoon.com. All right, Enigma, I'll give it to you. Just ping me on Discord, and then I'll send it to you. All right, bud? I can't find your account, so you gotta ping me, and I'll send it to you. Webtoon merch does exist. It's on shop.webtoon.com. There's only 4 pieces of good merch. There's a lot of merch on there, but there's only 4 that are good. That's my personal opinion. And going to this entire event kind of made me ask some questions. And I wanted to see what you guys thought, because I'm really interested in how you guys think, because you're all very smart, and I'm not as smart. A workshop's kind of useless. Oh, just DM me. That's all you need to do, buddy. A workshop's kind of useless. Like, I think they're useful overall. I think there's a lot you can learn from workshops, because I've done one with a friend of mine, Bobbler, and I think we taught a lot of people a lot of interesting concepts. But as a whole, do you think workshops serve very little purpose? Do you think they add very little to the creative resources? I don't know, because I think they're good. I think overall they're good. But going to this event just made me worry and wonder, maybe there isn't anything to learn from a workshop. Maybe I just got to suffer and do things and figure it out on my own. But then I also wonder, you're all of you in chat are at different levels in your creative lives, and I wonder, like, do they add things to you when you go to a workshop? Do you get new things? Do you learn new things? Do you get better? Or do you think that it's just, Is the summit recorded anywhere online? I live under a rock, so I don't know much about it. It is recorded. You will be sent. They will upload it soon. Usually they upload it soon. I want to ask. I'm going to ask them what they're doing with it. For me, they just help hype me up. A lot of the info was like a refresher for me. Okay, cool. So it's not just me, but it was useful information. It's always good to get told that you're on the right track then. You can probably find workshops that are more to your level, like a writer's retreat is a thing people do. Oh, that sounds terrifying. Me and a bunch of nerds? They're all going to talk to me? Sean, you terrify me. Like a lot of the perspective and color stuff I learned in school, but it refreshed my memory. See, I didn't learn any of that shit in school. I'm fully colorblind. So like a lot of my knowledge on perspective and color stuff, I had to learn like the hard way. I read a lot of books. And also I told you guys, I think I told you guys in like one stream ago, I can tell you the hex code of most colors just by like the rough estimation of what comes together to make the color. So my brain could just automatically do the RGB and then like, pff. So like I don't actually know what colors I'm working with. I just kind of, the numbers on the screen to me. So that's how I had to learn it. So it's a little bit weird, and it's harder to learn color theory from somebody who can just see, that's really hard. I'm in the animation industry. Oh, from Korg's Cough in chat. I'm in the animation industry, so lots of Webtoon info is similar to what I already know. Yeah, that's really cool. I worked in film before I started caring about comics, and a lot of stuff is pretty much the same too. So I'm glad we have that in common. Most workshops feel too general since they are trying to appeal to the most people it can, and it feels like it just repeats things I've seen everywhere. Yeah, I think that's another problem. Like, I think I've told you guys before, I want to do workshops on the Webcomics Hub channel, but they've been really difficult because I'm trying to figure out what's good and relevant information. So I've decided to turn workshops away from trying to teach people stuff to introducing people to new ideas and new things from people who experience them. One of the things I'm really trying to get done is getting a situation where I can find someone who lives in a location, who works in like the comic scene in their location, or at least in their region, their general region, to kind of give us a rundown of the general region, you know, just to see how it's done, you know, somewhere else if you don't live there. Like, I don't live in South America. I don't know what the comic scene in South America is. I don't know what underground comics are going around. I don't know what their convention scene is. I don't know anything. And I would love to like be in that. Do a thing on marketing. We suck at marketing. Listen, Chief. If I start doing one on marketing, I'll go weird. I'll be very different. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I just learned most of the stuff from videos, free classes, and having a cringe phase. A cringe phase is not a cringe phase if it teaches you something. Okay, say that to me and my AMV phase. All my nights spent editing a video to Breaking Benjamin because I thought it would look like a great anime OP. I said that out loud and I realized how cringe it was. I'm sorry? Question mark? Thanks, Korgs. I'm glad that I could give you something meaningful. Thanks for being named after the Queen's dogs. I don't like the Queen, but I do like her dogs, and they are cute. Like, it's nice to see another corgi. More cringe. The infinite cringe cycle that is being a young person and having an interest. But yeah, like, you know, I've gone around in that. And like writers' retreats, like what Sean mentioned earlier, sound interesting. I just wonder how useful they are. Like if you ask me right now where I am, where did I learn the most things I know? Where did I learn most of the things I know? Books. That's it. I sit down and I read books for like hours, right? Like this is where I do the little book review. When I was starting out in comics and I was trying to figure stuff out, the book everyone told me to read was Understanding Comics. So this was like 6 years ago or something, right? So I picked up Understanding Comics online by stealing the ebook. That's what I did. I stole the PDF. Sue me. And I read it, and there's this really cool part that really got me to understand how comics work, at least in my head. And it was this idea of closure that he talks about in the book. He basically talks about like how a comic allows you to portray different parts of the whole, different random parts of a thing, but like it allows you to perceive the whole, right? So the idea essentially is like, I'm gonna show you, like if I show you a seat, and then like if I show you a train station logo, like if you live in the UK, you see the little underground logo. I show you the underground logo, and I show you a seat, and I show you a person sitting in that seat, and then I show you a new location. Your brain puts it all together as like, oh, they traveled, right? And that's in film. That's called the Kuleshov effect. That's literally what it is. It's the Kuleshov effect. It's just multiple things together can tell a story that is bigger than the things individually contained. That's all it is, right? And like, I figured that out from books. I knew that in film. I got how it worked in comics by reading Scott McCloud's books, and that's how I learned stuff. I've never watched a video on comics and learned shit. I say that making a video about comics right now. Like if it's about news and stuff, I learn a little bit. So please don't click off the video. Stay, keep watching. If you leave, I'll cry. But I don't know. It's been really hard. From a fresh salmon in chat. Also, Salmon, I just want to say it's really nice to see you. It's always good to see you, honestly. If you can get really into a specific thing, it could be good, but it might reach less people than going more generalized. I think it often comes down to, do you want to reach more people or actually give something meaningful to a lot less people? That's actually really useful. Like, if I did a marketing thing, it would be super specific. It'd be talking about how to like notice trends and stuff, like not notice, how to utilize trends effectively and stuff like that, and how to not like overutilize a trend. And that would probably be where I'd go, because that's super specific and important for comics, and it's not hard to understand, and it'll be short. Because for me, meaningful is something that is productive, as in you go into it, and not only are you entertained, but you come out of it gaining some knowledge or gaining some affirmation of knowledge. For me, productivity is really important. From Korix Koff, Jojo Creator's manga in theory and practice is a very good resource if you want to write like a mangaka. Yeah, that's actually not something I know about. That's really useful. I'm gonna read that now. I'm gonna read that. I also read just a lot of comics. Like I read it's getting kind of worrying, I'm not gonna lie. At the height of my spending, before COVID, I was spending like $100 a week on comics, give or take. Like, I don't mean digital ones, I mean physical ones. Digital ones I was just reading a ton of. Physical ones I was buying a lot of. I've had to give away a lot of my physical comics, but like I spent a lot of money on comics. Because I just read a ton of it. I read a ton of it and I learn a lot from all of it. I learn very, very actively from like watching other people do stuff. So that's how my brain works with that. Rookie numbers. Yeah, you're right. The average comic spend a week is $20. I think I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, no, like that's kind of where I ended up with the workshop thing. I just like, is it useful, is it not? And I think you guys are right. If it's super specific, it's useful, but it's useful to very few people. But I think that's like the goal, what every workshop should aim for. And I don't think Webtoon doing what they did is bad, by the way. This is not me attacking them. I think what they did is good. I'm just realizing that like, you know, if we're doing it, if I was doing it for you guys, or if you guys wanted to watch something, or if there was something that we would want, like somebody would want to make out there, the more specific, the better, right? Like the more specific, the more tailored the content, the more useful it will be. It will just hit fewer people, but that's okay. That's an okay thing. Viewer numbers are less useful than helping the community, in my opinion. If I cared about viewer numbers, I'd write shitty reviews about Solo Leveling and Unordinary. I shouldn't say that because I have a friend that watches Unordinary and I actually really respect him. I actually kind of like his content, so don't take that the wrong way, Ty. I think he watches this. I don't want him to get mad at me. Oh my god. Okay, all right, cool. So that's my entire thing. Solo Leveling is pretty fun if you ignore the plot is a statement that I know is 100% true and also causes me intense physical pain to hear. I am in pain. You have hurt me. You have stabbed me in my heart. I hope you will apologize for your misdemeanors and your crimes. It's not that bad. I don't care. So going on to other things I wanted to talk about. Sorry, chat is distracting me. I can't handle any more Solo Leveling discourse. The anime is going to make it happen all over again. Yeah, I saw the anime announcement. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to watch the anime here on Twitch, and we're going to watch it live. We're going to watch it live. I'm going to take the VOD down, put it on the second channel, Webcomics Attic, which is where I put all the other stuff that that isn't really good or doesn't matter. You should go subscribe to that second channel because when I do the next watch party, which is next week we're doing a watch party of Sweet Home. We're trying to get through all of Sweet Home. Where the idea is to watch like a few episodes a month, and hopefully we can get through the entire series and maybe the rest of the year. But yeah, it's all going to be going into this channel, so make sure you subscribe to it. Okay, cool. Anyway, Solo Leveling discourse is funny to me. Because I think it's pretty valuable. Okay, I'll break from my topic list to talk about this real quick. I don't talk about comics very often on the podcast. Like I don't talk about like a specific comic very often on the podcast. But I just want to say, Solo Leveling isn't good. And I know everyone who reads it is like, yeah, it's good if you ignore the story or whatever the hell. But it isn't good. And it actually kind of annoys me that it's popular in a very personal way. It's more just because like I read a lot of people's work, so I can see that like even Solo Leveling has got a ton of work put into it, a ton of effort put into it. And it's a little bit depressing that something that has a ton of effort put into it, but like no soul, is doing really well. That's it. It's got no soul. It's got nothing. And I'm not mad at anyone who likes it. I'm glad that I know why you people like it, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they are getting what they want out of Solo Leveling. I'm just not getting anything out of Solo Leveling, and as such, I find it to be inane and kind of insulting as a piece of content. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. That's it. I'm not saying any more on it. If you like it, good for you. I hope I'm not here to make you feel bad about what you like. I hope you are enjoying yourself when you read it, because I'm going to also be honest with you. I wish I could understand why you enjoy what you enjoy, because I want to enjoy more things. I like enjoying comics. It makes me feel better. But I can't see it. Anyway, moving on to the next thing I wanted to get to. If you guys are making stuff and you're looking at the originals page, also I should want a few comics have been getting taken down. And by taken down, I just mean like they're stopping. They're finishing. They're closing really early. There's no more, right? The comics that have been brought to my attention by a wonderful friend who I respect very much, were comics like Choco Latte, When the Day Comes, Asterion, Cinnamon Roll, and Unwritten Death. The Unwritten Death artist seems to be having a really rough time of it as well. One of the creators is having a really rough time of it as well with making their comic. And as for Choco Latte, it's being removed. Like, it's being removed from the entire platform. Like, as of on July 30th, the entirety of Choco Latte is being removed. If you want a downloaded version of the entire thing, I could give it to you, I guess. But I only downloaded it because I wanted to read everything without having the internet on my phone. But like, I'm not here to like sound the alarm or anything. It's nothing wrong with it. This happens. This has happened before in Webtoon. It will happen again. Webtoon seems to have set up their contracts in such a way that a lot of them start at pretty similar times. And when one of them ends, they use it as a reason. Leave me alone, Enigma. They use it as a reason to end other things. So they kind of all go at once and then they go away. It's a little bit alarming because they've been pushing their featured comics a lot more than usual this year. They've been featuring like 12 comics a week or whatever, right? So it's a little weird that they've been doing that. And then some of the ones that were recently featured not long ago, I think one of them was featured like last August, I think. Was it one that was featured last August? Well, yeah, When the Day Comes was like at least featured in English last April. And Asterion like became a thing like in February last year. Like these aren't old at all. But Webtoon's like taking a few of them down. They're not going any longer. And I wonder how much of that has to do with the fact that Webtoon US made a loss this year. So no, last year. Webtoon US made a loss last year. I wonder how much of that has to do with that. But the loss wasn't like substantial. So I'm trying to put it through. I've also been told by somebody that they have like a prerequisite number of feature comics to take through from Korea every month or whatever, every year. And maybe that's affecting it. I have no idea what's affecting it. But I do want to say that it's not particularly alarming. That's like my main thing. It's not particularly alarming that they're doing this right now. It's not the strangest thing. Webtoon does it often. It's a whole thing. Like a few years ago, there was if Netflix is canceling shows, I'm not surprised Webtoon is too. Yeah, right? But even without that, Webtoon did this 2018. 2018, literally before the contest, almost all it was the year of the death of the comedy webcomic. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was crying. Random Philia was going down. Mercworks was gone. Cooking Comically was gone. It was so depressing. It was caused me so much emotional stress. I hope you're okay, Devin Bosco Lee. I hope you're still alive out there somewhere. As if you can't tell, Random Philia was my favorite comic. But yeah, no, like it was a thing in 2018. A bunch of comedy comics went off. because their contracts ended and Webtoon didn't renew it, or the creators themselves refused to renew it as well. It's a thing. It's a thing that happens. Like there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to be worried about with it. It's just something that we can look at and accept to be something that's occurring. Maybe it's a sign of the change. A lot of the things that got taken down were super experimental in terms of how they portrayed storytelling, or they were romance stories. And there was only one action thing. I think it was called Useless Villain. It was the only action thing that was taken down. And it's becoming a daily pass series for all the value that has. And it seems to have been ended in a very, it wasn't doing very well in the stats, and it seems to have been ended in a very, let's just say that it doesn't look like they were happy with Webtoon when they ended it. Are they trying to fill the void with shonen? It feels like they're trying to get rid of a bunch of things that were low performing, although like Chocolate wasn't. But it seems like they're trying to get rid of a lot of things that are low performing, and focus on things that are performing really, really well. Some of them though aren't low performing. Like I understand with Asterion, it is not doing great. Chris, what'd you call it? What's her name again? Chelsea is a very talented artist and a very talented creator, but it's not doing great in the numbers. And neither was A Useless Villain, and neither was Unwritten Death. Like none of those were doing great numerically. So the creators probably weren't making a ton of money off of it. But it still doesn't make like a ton of sense as to why a few of the other ones are going down. So, more boyfriends? I'm glad to see somebody that isn't starting unnecessary arguments with me about boyfriends. I'm so tired. So, it's not that strange. I know a few creators might see that and get a little bit worried, but there's nothing to worry about. This company has operated at a loss for like 2 years now. It's not that strange. Okay, wait. Sorry, a thought just occurred to me. If you're confused, I'm just going to catch you up a little bit and then take you forward. So we're talking right now about Webtoons canceling a few comics, a few action comics, one action comic, and a few other romance, slice of life comics, right? And, they're canceling them because maybe they're stretched in with their budget or whatever. I don't know. I really don't know. But what occurred to me? Who got canceled? Unwritten Death, Asterion, When the Day Comes, The Sound of Another. And by canceled, I mean they finished, but they all seem to have finished quite abruptly, like very abruptly. The Sound of Another, Once a Hero, A Useless Villain, and Chocolate is not only finishing. It's not finished. Like there's no final chapter. There's no like series finale. It's just getting taken off the platform. I know Unwritten Death was the author choice. You could tell from what they were saying. I saw the tweet where they said that they were having a really hard time with it. So I'm not like surprised. I'm not mad at them or anything. It's not a hate thing about them. I'm just talking about it. But what occurred to me just now is earlier I said, and I'll say it again, Webtoon made a loss last year. They made like quite a substantial loss last year. Like a lot of money, like a lot of money. I don't remember the exact amount of money, but I know when I saw it, I literally did the like cartoon whistle and everything. Webtoon is terrible at advertising. And oh boy, I would love to talk about it. I would love to, but let me just get to this point. What occurred to me was because, okay, guys, I'm going to take you on a little bit of an economics trip. Follow me. Okay. So over COVID, a lot of companies gained a ton of value, right? And over COVID, the companies gained a ton of value because a lot of people were allowed to borrow a ton of money. Every company got their stocks basically pumped. I've been watching the Naver stocks because I've been trying to buy Korean stocks for like the past 3 months. It's been very difficult. Mostly so I can get some news. I'm mostly buying it for this show. I wanted to buy a stock in Naver and a stock in Kakao just so I could, for this show, so I could have some insider information, quote unquote. And while doing that, I noticed that Naver's stock value has like plummeted the past couple of weeks. As in like, it's gone down by a bit. the past year, as in like it reached like a really high peak of like $40 about per share, and it has plummeted from $40 per share not that long ago, like August last year, all the way down to $23 a share, which isn't a lot because before COVID they were like at $17 a share. But when they announced they took over Wattpad, they went up to $30. So it's altogether a net loss for them, right? As a value on the company. And Webtoon itself Webtoon US is losing money. Like Webtoon US is losing money this year. It's losing money, lost money last year, and it will probably lose money this year too. And what that's made me think is that maybe like this isn't a big sign of anything, but like maybe a lot of the things I've heard about their contract changes, maybe the removal of a lot of these comics, and a few other things are the reason why are like all a result of, well, I know we're in a recession. I know that part. I knew that part ages ago. But all of those things are part of why Webtoon's like dropping a ton of things at once. We're in a recession. Not to get political or anything, but we're in a recession and it's gonna get worse. And companies like Webtoon, when things get worse, companies like Webtoon, YouTube, and Twitch, they really tighten those buckets. Is that why we're having the action contest? Probably. It might be actually a very good indicator of why. Every time Webtoon has a contest, there is a noticeable effect on their stock price, but not by much, like not by very much. Because Naver's a big company, they do a lot of shit, right? But every time Webtoon has a contest, they can acquire IP for like really low, for like a relatively low value. And usually these people are starstruck. So they get tossed into these contracts and they don't really know what other contracts exist. So often they go into these contracts and just like go with it. They go with whatever contract they're given. They don't fight it. Especially when the economy's bad, they won't fight it. So for Webtoon, it's like we can drop a bunch of people that are costing us a little bit of money, get a few people that will cost us a little bit less money, that will make more popular series. Seems like a good deal all in all. This coupled with the fact that Webtoon has been doing a lot of in-house projects with people like DC. Like I told you guys a few episodes ago about the DC situation where there are creators working with DC and Webtoon right now, in-house creators, fully in-house, making stuff in-house. We don't even know what they are. I only found out about it because one of the creators wouldn't shut the fuck up and then decided to tell me the whole story in my chat. In my comments. Had an argument with me, fuck's sake. Sorry, I'm a little bit pissed about that. I showed you guys those YouTube comments. I showed them to you because I knew they would become relevant in the future. This is big brain reporting right here. Guys, you're getting the scoop hot off the presses. That was a certified me moment. But like the combination of the recession, Webtoon's decision to go in-house, and coupling that with the fact that they're trying to get in a bunch of newer creators on from what I understand is some pretty shitty contracts. Like shittier than usual. I've seen at least 3 iterations of Webtoon's contracts from different people. I'm not gonna tell you how old they are or whatever. I don't because they might be super specific. I've seen 3 iterations and I just want to say that they've gotten worse. Like that's all I want to say. They've gotten worse. And like with the way that runs, with the way that works in my mind, that's all part of like they're losing money. They're going on. They're trying to finally make themselves profitable. It's not even that strange because this year Amazon literally just told Twitch to. Amazon this year seems to have told Twitch, from some of the Twitch people I know, Amazon's kind of like looking at Twitch and going, where's the bag, chief? Because Twitch makes a loss every year and costs Amazon money. So Webtoon US making a loss every year, even though they're very profitable, even though they make a lot of revenue, making a loss this year as well must not be making Naver happy, and they're doing everything they can, and so Webtoon is trying to do everything they can to secure the bag, so to speak. And if you want to help me secure my bag, give me money on Patreon. We're in a recession, goddammit. I just thought that was funny. That wasn't actually as funny as I wanted it to be. I still mean everything I said, but Okay, cool. So I got a wonderful text from my partner. Made me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Interrupted my brain there. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know what you guys think about all of that. I just dumped a bunch of stuff on you. I want someone to like feed back to me with their thoughts. Say something. Anything. I don't want to like, I feel like I've tossed a bunch of stuff out there. I hope I'm not being stupid. I feel bad for people who are desperate enough to get preyed on. 2020. I'd have totally signed one if I got one. You know what's fucking funny is I would sign one now. I would sign one now. But like, it's not worth it. Like it's like I would sign one now. I know it's not worth it. My brain knows it's not worth it. But like there's a primal part of my brain. There's a primal part of my brain, like just in the back of my brain, that like sees a Webtoon contract as like a meaningful good thing for me. Because you know, it's been like fucking what? They've been in English speaking world since 2014. And they're like the most legitimate comic company around. They act fucking shady all the time, but they're the most legitimate comic company around. and they make you, even if it's a shit contract, your brain tells you something of like, this is my ticket in. You know, a lot of young people grow up in this space, and for them, this is the dream now. The Webtoon contract is the dream, as bad as it may be. You want to know what my fucking dream was when I started working in film? You want to know my fucking dream was? I wanted to work on a game. I wanted to work on a game. So if you didn't know, a lot of film companies work on games and 3D motion capture and set design and stuff. They help do like tons of stuff that like goes into games, right? I wanted to work on a game while working for this company called Centroid. But I only worked there for like a month or something. It wasn't very long. But essentially, like, I ended up doing a lot of motion capture for them, and I got to work motion capture work on a game. And yeah, it paid well, but it was horrible. It was 12-hour days. It was 12-hour days for multiple days. And I hurt my back once. They made me do a backflip, but I hurt my back. It was really bad. But that was my dream job, and I signed it knowing all this was going to happen to me. The back of my monkey brain thinks it's good. It's weird. It's mega weird. Even like Ocean Backwards, Nako is like saying the same thing I'm saying. Nako is like, you know, I would sign one too, to be honest. Any contract right now would be a good one. From Salmon, it's kind of a dream for people, same as I said. From Zombie, if they email me, finna sign it right now. Peace. Multiple 12-hour days, dude. It was terrible. From Kaji Purin, the back of my monkey brain says, wow, big contract money. And from Semi Enigma, I'm too old and jaded to fall for it. I used to read contracts for a living. I would take a month to look over the contract. Still no. I really respect your drive. I respect your drive. I respect your power. You know, I stay hungry. I devour. That's such a stupid meme. From Korgs, saying my dream is to have do my comic full time, but it's scary. Like, okay, guys, real talk, right? Since we're being honest, I want to do YouTube full time. Like, I want to do live streaming and content production full time. That's what I want to do with my life, right? It pays so bad sometimes. And if somebody walked up to me, some MCN, some anything walked to me and said, hey, look, I'm going to give you fucking, I don't know, $10,000 right now. Right? Or I'm going to give you $10,000 every 3 months if you just bust your ass and make me 5 videos a week. Finna bet 5 videos a week and 5 streams a week. Finna bet I'm going to make 5 videos a week and 5 streams a week. It'll kill me. It'll kill me. But I'll do it. I'll do it because I need that. I want that life. And I feel like if I can make that 10,000 every 3 months, after a bit, you know what's funny is I said that. I actually did get offered $10,000 every 3 months. I actually never told anyone the story. 2 weeks ago, Red Bull contacted me to do editing work for them at $3,000 a month. And I said yes. I said yes. And then I couldn't do it for a bunch of other stupid reasons. But I said yes because it was like my dream to make videos. They wanted me to make like a video a day on everything. Like 1 video a day on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. It's going to be like 5 videos, 1 video a day on one of them. And I had to make sure I did also all the community managers. I'd have to talk and chat and everything. shit. I had to do live streams. It was wild. And I said yes. I saw that. I saw all the work and I said yes. It was wild. Because like when your brain has built up this idea of like, oh shit, there's this thing I really want to do. This thing I really, really want to do. And I really want to do it because like I've always wanted to do it. And then you finally get the opportunity. Sometimes your brain, like you turn off all your locks in your brain and you just go, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. Like that happened to me and it was wild. It was wild. Because once I realized that it happened to me, I was like, I was thinking about you guys. I was thinking about comics. I was thinking about how often it happens to us. It's absolutely insane. Most creative industries farm university grads like this, like Fresh Salmon is saying. It is insane how like we have spent our lives believing that this is something we want to do. And we're at a point where not only are we still doing it for no money, if they gave us a bad contract that would literally cause us pain and make our quality of life get worse, we would still say yes. Shit. Like, that's insane. Right? Like, that's insane. They wanted me to be a video editor, but they wanted to be a social media marketer, but they called me a video editor. I didn't have to like check any statistics on the videos. I just had to make the videos. I had to make them and deliver. That's it. That's all they wanted from me. I had to make them and deliver them. As long as I made them and delivered them, they didn't, and occasionally commented, they didn't care. And that's 7 days a week. So I had to make a video every day. That was what the requirement basically was. I had to make one every day. Humans live off having a purpose. Having a meaningful life is more important than money, from Korg's Cough in chat. Sometimes, yeah. Like, I agree with you, actually. Some people, money is more important than having a meaningful life, but it depends. But I do agree. For a lot of us, that's where we're at. The arts have a hold on us. The arts own our souls, man. Fuck. All the bad shit in the games industry, but one offer from a studio and I'll be like, aye, sir, aye, captain. Okay, not even a fucking joke, right? So I applied to Rebellion Studios. Rebellion makes Sniper Elite, right? I applied to work in Rebellion's comics division, but it would also have me working in the games division. And they were offering, in fairness, this wasn't like a high-level job. I applied for a high-level job. They rejected me for that, and they gave me a lower-level job. And the job they gave me, this was a while ago, by the way, not recently. The job they gave me was £24,000 a year. I would be working overtime every day. Like, holy shit. Holy shit. And you know what got me? You know what got me? I almost said yes. I was about to say yes. And then my mother was like, are you stupid? Like, holy shit. Like, the amount of burnout like I feel when I make videos on my own, let alone, and like work on stuff on my own. And I was about to put myself in debt to a company for it. Like, for less money than I would pay myself. Like, holy shit, dude. Like, God. I don't agree with that. Money is required for a good life. I personally believe that I would rather earn less money into something more meaningful. I just don't want to be like abused at work. That's my requirement. Some days I'm like, I hope I get a web from Katie Clover and Art in chat. Some days I'm like, I hope I get a WEBTOON contract from the contest. And other days I'm like, yeah, I hope I don't. That's a lot of work, lol. Yeah, me too. Oh, cheesy man. Oh, daily uploads. Okay, that's too much. YouTubers that upload every day get burned out easily. Imagine a corporate job. You know what's funny? Is those YouTubers don't even do all the editing. They have 2 editors that do all the editing every day. All they do is record and they get burnt out. Imagine being someone who records and edits. Yeah. Money is necessary to keep living, so agree. Yeah, money is important. You know, I'm if I hit the point where I can pay rent, if I could pay rent, pay bills, and buy food, just that. I'm not talking about going anywhere. I'm talking about leaving this house, paying a gym membership, just being able to pay rent and buy food. While doing this video stuff, I'd probably quit my job and do it. Like, I'd probably instantly quit my job and do it. And I would love every minute of it. And it would suck. It would suck. Yeah. Like, Talking about people pumping out the YouTube. We're getting so off topic, but I just want to hit this last one. Talking about people pumping out the YouTube Shorts content daily. Did you know that I have a new YouTube Shorts channel? I'm joking. It's just for the Hubcast. It's called what the fuck is the channel? I can't find it. Shit. Oh, somebody already found it. Who found the channel? It's called Webcomics Hubcast Clips. No, there's another one, Webcomics Hubcast Clips. It's just for shorts. There's nothing else on it. The first short comes out in like 13 minutes. Somebody found it and subscribed to it. Who? Which one of you bastards found this channel? Whatever. Like, I'm making shorts too. Welcome. I don't know. I'm getting, from Korg's Cough, I'm getting burned out doing call to action on my job at the same time right now. I'm getting burned out live streaming and doing my job at the same time right now. I'm glad that we're both friends. I actually stopped my call to action work. I was starting to hate it, so I stopped, put it away. I went back to working on my main series. And that's healthy. That's really healthy. I think really right now where we're all at, it's kind of insane that like we all have these aspirations that we want to hit. We have these things that we want to do with our comics, right? Or that whatever we're working on in the comic space. And it's really fucking weird. It's really fucking weird that like it's very easy for us to hate what we're working on. And we know that we really, really want to still succeed in this. It's kind of insane. I know a lot of people working on the call to action contest right now that are just absolutely killing themselves. Like they're killing themselves for a 1-chapter release. And I feel bad. I feel really bad. But they're my friends, I support, you know? They're my friends, so I support. I gotta support. You gotta support the boy, you know? You gotta support the lads. It's really important. My call to action story actually made me lose my mind and many days of sleep. I have accepted it. If it happens, it happens. Good. It's what I've done for my sake. Call to action is taking a number on a lot of creators' mental health. And I will just say the same thing I said to the creator that the last person I spoke to about this. It doesn't matter if you succeed with this one. It's a 1-chapter comic. Just fucking upload it. Just fucking upload it. Get it out there. Get it done. Doesn't matter if it's great or bad. I know you want to win, but right now winning is not one of your priorities. You are too tired to win. It's good to really just kind of, that's not the priority today. Focus on like doing something else. Focus on like getting this out and doing something else. I think that'd be really good for your health if you did. Action is notoriously difficult. Action is also notoriously expensive. Like one of the greatest action mangas of all time, Kengan Asura, took hours. Like just single panels that would be on page for maybe a moment took him days. You know, and in Japan, there's like a more robust system of assistance and pay. Here, like you're doing an action comic, getting all your smears right, doing all your poses right, sitting in your fucking room. You're broke as shit, so you haven't got assistance, and you're exhausted all the time from your full-time job. Like it's insane. It's the requirement is insane. And it's no one, it's for the reason I said earlier, Webtoon isn't doing this. Webtoon isn't doing this contest to like find new action creators in the space. They're doing it to find someone who fits a specific thing. They don't care about canvas in this situation, and they don't care about anything else. They're just trying to find the right person who will tweak the right brain chemicals that will get them a ton of like readers to the platform from one action comic. How do some Webtoon creators afford assistance? Barely. Most Webtoon creators I know that afford assistance barely make money. Patreon, pretty much. .com/Webcomics Hub. Patreon, you know? Like that's how most of them make their money, through Patreon. You know, I did a survey a few years ago with a bunch of personal data on it, so I can't tell you about it. But it was figuring out how much Webtoon creators earned, and like the highest earning ones, most of their money came from Patreon. Like it's quite insane in my opinion. Making an action comic is expensive, but not on Webtoon. Nice one, Georgie. And from Korgs, learning how to do cheats and shortcuts with this contest, but using a lot of backgrounds and art. Yeah, reusing. Yeah, like that's a really important skill to learn in general, in action even more so. But like the stuff that action fans want is insane. Like the kind of neuron activation they're looking for is shonen, but they're looking for like the new age of shonen. They don't want freaking Naruto or like Black Clover or whatever the fuck. Although they want things that feel that epic. They want a combination of things that feel as epic as Black Clover and Naruto, but they want the action quality and like dynamic vision and quality of like the boxer and freaking of like the boxer and like freaking Solo Leveling and like fuck, I'm trying to remember all the good stuff I read. But yeah, those things. That's what they're looking for, you know? And it's where their brains are at right now because they know that those things get clicked. Like, say what you want to say about Solo Leveling. It's getting an anime. You know, I don't see anything. Very few things get an anime. I don't see like I think Blackburn is a great webtoon. I don't see Blackburn getting any fucking anime. Probably not going to happen for a lot of reasons, but the main one being it's not going to have the mainstream wide appeal that Solo Leveling does. Almost nothing has that mainstream wide appeal, you know? It makes sense the platform wants their own Solo Leveling. Webtoon literally took on Solo Leveling's little brother, Omniscient Reader, so they could have their own Solo Leveling, and it didn't work out. It's almost a joke at this point. You know, it's almost a joke at this point how badly everyone wants their own Solo Leveling. It's God. Right now I'm looking on my phone for a certain Book Eater. That's another one that's getting really big very quickly. It's got a light novel. It's called Book Eater. Like that's what people want. People want stuff like that. Like holy hell. No offense to shonen, but it's kind of easy to do story wise. Not easy to draw, but easy to write. The reason it's easy to write is because it's not easy to draw. Shonen creators put a lot of work into drawing and very little time into writing because they know they can. Stick some OPMC, give them those eyes, and the people will come. Oh, Salmon, go away. People too busy pirating it to read on Webtoon. You mean Omniscient Reader? Yes. Sometimes when I feel evil, I imagine how well Unordinary would do if it would start being published now. And back then, instead of back then when there was nothing. God, you know what's funny to me? I will say this every time whenever somebody reminds me of this. I want you all to remember that Unordinary is the biggest superhero comic in North America. Let that sink in. Carry on. Nobody wants to be 3 chapters behind Webtoon's Omniscient Reader. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. OPMC, let him be an underdog for 3 episodes and have him do nothing to stomp waffles for the next 489. Everyone is very angry about OPMC characters, huh? I didn't know my audience was so mad at the OPMC trope. I thought all of you would be game for that kind of shit. I didn't know there would be controversy. Unordinary is popular on 4chan for some reason. Why? Actually, don't tell me why. I'm not going onto that website. I am no longer 13 and an edgelord. Yeah, that's kind of just I'm actually thinking about what do you mean it's popular on 4chan? What? Why? I'm actually quite confused by that one. Like, I was gonna introduce you guys to a new idea, but like first, let me just unpack that. Been hearing a lot about Unordinary. What is it about? Shut up, Geek Boy. I know you know exactly what that comic is. I know you, Geek Boy. I know where you live. I'm very confused why it's popular. On the anime board on 4chan? No, stop it. Let's stop talking about Unordinary in my chat. And 4chan especially, actually. Let's talk about 4chan. I don't want to know about 4chan. I need to leave. I left. I'm not going back. I don't want to even think about it again. It was such a dark place. Are you saying the kid from Band of Keys has bad taste? SMH my head. Get the fuck away from me. Oh my God. Okay, all right. Before everyone hurts me emotionally, there's actually like two things I want to talk to you guys about. Guys, have you noticed? There's two things left for me to talk to you guys about. Guys, have you noticed that sports comics are kind of dead? Like, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but like general sports comics, like not even. I don't mean like. I don't just mean volleyball stuff or whatever. I just mean like the idea of a sports comic, even if it's one that's just about chess, is kind of dead. Well, fear no more, because there's a chess manga. It's getting printed soon. It's called Blitz, and it features Gary Kasparov, former world #1 chess player and a grandmaster. It's called Blitz. It's called Blitz, baby. One second. Let me just zoom out a little bit. It's called Blitz, baby. Yeah, Blitz. Oh, yeah, Blitz. Blue Lock, soccer. Ew, soccer is not a sport. Blitz, on the other hand, yes, perfection. Look, it's Gary Kasparov behind him in the flesh. Do you see it? It's Gary's body floating. Just, I want you to know that's a thing. It's getting printed soon. I think it's already been a manga on Shonen Jump for a while. Didn't even know about it, but I think it's very funny. It exists. That's all I wanted to let you know about that, really. I know Blue Lock is pretty good. I actually do read Blue Lock. It's quite good. I like sports. Sports comics and action comics have the same problem. Sports comics and action comics have like a lot of the same problems, but sports comic is like a sports comic is a worse action comic. That's like the major problem of sports. Any sports comic you read is a worse version of an action comic because it has to have all of the precision and skill and fluidity of an action comic with the high knowledge level of a sports of like that a creator needs to have about like the sport. You can't just know a surface level about the sport. You got to know a lot about the sport. Or even if you made up the sport, you got to define the sport really, really fucking well. And then after you've done all those things, if somebody reads your comic, likes your action, doesn't care about your sport, they'll fall off really quickly. It's like the worst of all worlds. It's why Webtoon never made the push for sports, ever. They've taken 1, maybe 3 sports comics on total, I think. But I'm gonna go check. I think Webtoon's taken a total of like 3, 4 sports comics. But maybe I'm off. Maybe I'm off by some amount. Let me see. I'm pretty sure they've taken almost none. Plum is really good. I've read Plum. I remember seeing Plum come on, and I was very happy. And I really like Just for Kicks. I'm saying sports are bad or sports comics are bad or whatever, but I really like Just for Kicks. I thought it was good, and the box was pretty good. Okay, cool. There's like 10. Most of them are close. Most of them are over anyway. So it's what it is. George, go away. Anyway, George, go away. Don't write that in my chat. Anyway, yeah, that's like where I got with the sport. I just, sports comics are kind of bad. Like they're kind of going out of style. They're kind of a creator's worst nightmare. And for a platform, they are horrible. They're horrible. They're not good. A sports comic for a platform is a waste of money. Like like skateboard racing and skate, yeah, fair enough. But a sports comic for any platform is like dead on arrival, almost guaranteed. Like maybe good for BL farming or whatever, but like that's good for readers. Platforms don't care about BL farming. Platforms care about money. And for platforms, sports comics are like a blight. They're like a potato blight, and the platform is Ireland. It's a nightmare, you know. You have to pay a bunch of money for a series that will have such a niche audience, demand so much from the artist, and the artist will probably get exhausted all the time and have to take tons of breaks. It'll be really bad, especially if you're trying to make a weekly thing. Like it'll be very not good. It'll be very not good. We're just kind of going on to we're just at the end and we're going on to all these different topics that everyone's brought up for me. And there was one I wanted to bring up and I can't find it. More sports BL? No. Where's the last topic I wrote down that I wanted to bring up? Crap, it's gone. I think I closed it. No. Oh, actually, no, here it is. Hey, quick question. I thought I might as well ask you guys. Do you guys read webcomics that do you guys read webcomics that upload exclusively onto their own website? Or at least mostly onto their own website? I want to know how many of you do. And if so, I just wanted to ask, like, do you prefer that? I've been reading a lot more on website comics lately. I've really enjoyed it. It's felt very nice. I don't think any of them really die because the creators just have the most inconsistent upload schedules imaginable. And I've been reading a lot more of them lately because I've been going through a lot of Hiveworks comics. And I enjoy it. I'm enjoying it a little bit. I used to read Undivine, but I was letting chapters stack and haven't been back in a while. Fair enough. Is that because you don't know? This is just me trying to understand something. Is that because, and this is the problem I had, you don't know when it releases? Because one of the problems I was having was I didn't know when it released. Like I was having an issue of like, I would read one, I wouldn't know when the next update would be, and they would say every Monday and Thursday or whatever, but then they would miss 1 week, or they happen to miss the week I was caring about them, and I don't know. It's easier to find stuff is your argument. Okay, cool. I'm old, so I've seen many dead comics. I am also old, Enigma. I've seen many dead comics too. I'm just saying they don't die usually because the websites stay up. The websites stay up. So like the creator can upload at any time, really. And from Phoenix Meta, well, I'm subbed to her on Patreon, so I know I just stopped reading. Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough. That's nothing. There's nothing wrong with that. I've been reading a lot more of the comics on website, like solo website webcomics lately, just to kind of experience that again after years. And I've still been very interested in them. I quite like them. It's very hard to read them without my laptop or my computer because none of them have mobile optimized websites. But overall, I've been having a better time reading them. I've been having a really good time reading them. But I don't know. I just wanted to see what everyone else was feeling like. I wanted to get a view. Just ask some questions. It's a very chill day. Nothing interesting has really happened in the webcomic space, and I still have other things I need to organize. I used to follow Stand Still, Stay Silent. Sorry, I thought you were. Sorry, that sentence confused me. The comic is called Stand Still, Stay Silent, right? Cool. I read that. My brain heard you say I used to follow, comma, Stand Still. And then like you were telling me to stand still, and then the name of the comic was Stay Silent. I was like, what is this? What kind of announcement is that? To be fair, I do have a comic on my own site when I get banned from WEBTOON. You're unlikely to get banned from WEBTOON. If you have the user base to get banned from WEBTOON, you have the user base to like modify your comic a little bit. like it's not that bad. WEBTOON's so bad at banning people anyway. So like I don't know why WEBTOON's so bad at like taking comics down. Like it's so easy to circumvent their moderation tools because it's built entirely off of people reporting. Like, they don't look for this shit. As long as you don't blatantly skirt the rules, they'll never find out. No, that's wrong. They'll usually not find out. That's the right statement. Because my characters are too sexy. Well, Enigma, that's because you're too sexy. Okay. Okay, enough memeing. All right. This was actually a very interesting conversation with all of you. I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot about what you think. Twitch chat has been mostly just making fun of me, as is customary. But I've learned a lot about how you guys think about stuff. Again, if you guys want me to cover any topics that you think are interesting or, you just think would be funny for me to cover, go over into the Discord channel, into the Discord server, discord.webcomicshub.co.uk. That's the link. That's actually the link. The Cheesecast is at 50 patrons. That is when the Cheesecast will happen. If you want the Cheesecast to happen quicker, provide to the community. I'm glad you're working on your comic, Phoenix Metal. That's good. But what was I saying? Yeah, if you guys want to join the Discord, that'd be awesome. It'll be great to see you chatting and contributing to the community. But also, you can post if you take the podcast role or the YouTube role. You can go down in podcast chat and put a topic you want me to cover, and just tell me about it, and I'll look into it. I'll read about it, and I'll bring it up. I do love talking with you guys. You're all very smart, and I love getting people's thoughts. People's thoughts are really valuable to me, so it's always good to have a little bit of a back and forth. What else is there for me to say? Oh yeah, follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/webcomics_hub. Webcomics Hub on Twitter, not the green one. WEBTOON told me all the death and the killing and violence in my comic is fine, but my MC's pants were hanging too low and I had to cover up his pelvis. It's because Luxiva, it's because he's too sexy. Okay, wait. Before I close, I'm actually not gonna close. I need to just before I close. I was gonna stop the stream and go make a sandwich, but I need to talk about this sex thing because I said it. I didn't want to bring it up. I was like, another time. But let me just bring it up really fucking quickly. Okay. So, do you guys want to know why every company is fucking prudish as shit? I'm going to tell you why every company is fucking prudish as shit. And it's not to give them a justification. It's because they're fucking stupid. And they know that they're being stupid, but they're doing it anyway. So, here's the three reasons why companies are prudish. Ads, banks, and executives. Those are the three core reasons. And I'm going to hit them one by one. The ad one is really simple. Google controls 80% of ads on the internet, right? And WEBTOON uses Google Ads. Google Ads is super, super strict about what goes next to a Google ad, right? So WEBTOON is being very, very cautious. WEBTOON also has their own ads program internally that determines what ads show up on their pages, right? And if you look on it, WEBTOON does not let you put an advert of gay content on there. So if you want to have a gay webcomic, you can't advertise it. And as such, you end up in a situation where ad companies, where ad companies don't really want to work with anything sex related, just because whenever their ads go out, people report where they see their ads, right? And whenever they report, people report where they see their ads, companies might be upset at seeing their ad next to something they don't like. Remember, executives at companies can be super prudish. So they're not happy about that shit. That's number one. And that's really easy. And you might be like, okay, well, this comic I know is like this, and this comic I know is like that. They're all featured. But I want to let you know it's because they're featured. What's happening is WEBTOON is saying, if you're not featured, I can't vouch for you. But if you're featured, I'll vouch for you to the end of the earth, that you are skirting the line appropriately. So that's why, that's number one reason, the ads. Second reason, banks. So here's a really interesting thing. Banks and payment processors like MasterCard and Visa get given a very hefty fine by governments if they are known to be associating themselves with illegal content, right? If you as a payment processor or a bank knows that you are dealing with illegal content, illegal money, and you associate yourself with it, you get a huge fine. And bank fines aren't like small. To start a bank, you need $25 million in most places. So bank fines are like upwards of that. They're like 30, 40, $100 million, $200 million fines. And these aren't fines that go out of your money. They go out of the bank's money, right? So bank fines are like super, super high. So banks, because of this law, know that they can skirt the law, right? But skirting the law means that they're basically subject to whatever political changes occur in the community. If the political sphere becomes super ultra right, the bank will then like be unable to like even be near a woman showing her thigh or her knee. And if the political sphere becomes super ultra left, the bank will literally be literally able to take money from almost anyone, right? And why that and why I'm bringing up the sex thing that related to the like illegal thing is like sex related things, anything that's related to do with sex on the internet especially, is also tends to be, and that's not a 100% correlation, but it tends to be super involved with something illegal, right? Like, remember the OnlyFans thing from a few months ago? OnlyFans was putting out that post because they were basically trying to tell banks, hey guys, look, we have sex on our platform, but we don't have the really bad sex. We don't have the really edge case shit. So like, don't ban us from moving money, please, right? Please don't ban us. That's why OnlyFans did that. It was a big fuck up as well, but that was the reason why they made that post about quote unquote banning sexual content and moderating that. They were trying to ban all the really like edge case people, the really like extreme people, because banks don't have anything to do with that because a lot of that stuff is super illegal. As I said, sex work and illegal stuff kind of follow each other a lot. So banks don't want to deal with people who even like sneeze at sex. Like, this is not a joke. If you fucking look at sex really weird, because banks don't want to be caught dealing with illegal money, and sex and illegal money follow each other a lot, banks don't want to be caught dealing with sex. Like, they don't want to deal with it. They almost never want to touch it. It's why tons of platforms that are more adult oriented don't have normal payment platforms. They use Bitcoin and shit, right? So platforms, because banks are super fucking cautious and might cut off your platform from spending its money because they're like, prove to us that it's not illegal. And it's impossible to prove that your money is not illegal. It's almost possible to prove something like that, right? And you might end up in a really long case where the bank just has to like trust you, but it'll take like a year. Because banks are like super cautious, companies have to be in turn super cautious, right? So you end up in a situation where like companies, when they see any content that's sexual, will react, even vaguely, will react like fucking rabid animals, right? There's also other government rules like CESA and FOSSA that are affecting this, but this is a big one. They react like fucking rabid animals, right? And then what will happen because of that is they'll get everyone they don't fully back. So if you're not a feature creator, essentially, Webtoon will strike you immediately if you show like anything close to a penis. How dare you? You're gonna put us in the sex place. And when we're in the sex place, people think that we're doing illegal stuff, right? That's how Webtoon sees it. And you might be like, okay, what about them main platform people? And it's essentially the same thing I said before. Main platform people are their friends. They can vouch for them. They know where their content comes from. They monitor their entire content production pipeline. So they can say, these guys are good and these guys aren't. These guys are good and we don't know about these guys. We don't really know what they do over the canvas. I don't know what they do. But these featured guys, yeah, we know all of them. We know their houses. We know where they live. We know who they are. Like that kind of thing, right? So that's the bank's reason. That's the bank's reason why Webtoon cares about it. And the last one is executives being prudes. Executives are prudes on like every platform, right? But executives are prudes not because executives are stupid. Like, I wanted to be clear. Like, they're dumb, but not that dumb, right? They can be very stupid, but they're not like massively stupid. It's just that like they're prudes because they know that most of the money on the internet, unless you're working with specifically a sex-related brand, most of the money on the internet, especially when it comes to like comics and YouTube and gaming and stuff, is from fucking little children. No, I worded that so badly. Most of the money on the internet is from little children. It's from children. It's from small children. It's from 10-year-olds. It's from like 13-year-olds and their parents. That's where most of the money on the internet is, right? And executives are prudes because they know for sure that those little children provide them most of the revenue, most of the eyes that look at their stuff. Like, if you try and figure out the average age of a Webtoon reader, it's like 14. I know it sounded so bad, but it's already happened. I'm moving forward. The average age of a webtoon reader is like 14, right? And if you're dealing content to 14-year-olds, your number one priority is to make sure that their parents don't see what they're reading and then like report you to the government. So executives, because they want to maintain their bottom line and their crazy amounts of money, are like prudish because they're like, the only way I can maintain my crazy amounts of money is by making sure the little kids can read my shit. And the only way to make sure they can read my shit is to aggressively enforce rules. And again, I then go to the parents and say, well, if you don't want to read my featured stuff, well, I vouch that it was good, but you just don't like it on your own personal belief. So like parents will get mad at their kids reading boyfriends. That's their problem, right? Parents getting mad because like some Canvas webcomic put a dick in the comic, like that's Webtoon's problem. You know what I mean? And there is a verify age button. But like it's useless. It's impossible to verify anyone's age. It's so hard. Like YouTube has been trying to enforce verify age for the past 4 years. And all of you have probably clicked on a video that said verify your age and then you just refused. I have gotten several videos to verify my age. I have been like for years. I am fucking old and I just refuse. I'm not giving them my ID, so fuck them. I'm not giving them my credit card so they can go fuck themselves. Like, that's why. Those are all the reasons why every platform is afraid of sex. And you might be like, then why is Twitter the way it is? Because Twitter is an idiot. Twitter is run by morons and it's a terrible platform and I love it. I love it because it's bad. Every other platform is doing social media properly and correctly so they can make the most amount of money. Twitter is run by idiots and morons who don't know how to make any money ever. And that's why I love Twitter. It's such a bad platform that it gives the best user experience. I love Webtoon making a pop-up on the app forcing all users to read a vampire sex dream comic, Lamau. Have fun, kiddos. Listen, the vampire sex dream comic is one of my featured comics. If you don't like vampire sex dream, it's because of your personal beliefs. But I made sure that it was on the up and up. That's my job as www.webtoon.com. I need to like post edit, go back after the stream goes down. I need to go back and remove the bit I said wrong earlier. If they did add a verify age button, it would just attract more children. Yeah, it actually would. What was the website that did that for me? Facebook did that. That's how they got a lot of their young user base. Facebook would just like let children join, never check the age verification. But children loved it because they felt adult because Facebook wouldn't let them on if they weren't 13. I remember people in my school when Facebook first became like a public thing. Like I was like 08 or something. All the people in my school were like trying to be like all the especially the younger kids were like all trying to get in on it. It was wild. And then we all went to Habbo Hotel instead. Someone could take me out of context. I might just leave it out of laziness because I'm an idiot. I don't really care if they do, to be honest. Nothing can't faze me. God. Flashbacks to nipple-less Mario. No, Nico, no. Don't remind me about that nightmare. Oh, Jesus. That was such a stupid situation to be in. Such a dumb situation. But yeah, that's the whole thing about money, guys. I know this because I've been doing a lot more because I care a lot about marketing, as you guys know, as a marketing professional. That's a lie. I'm not. I'm an idiot. But because I care a lot about marketing, I spend a lot of my time reading like how marketing and sex and stuff work. And I was reading about the OnlyFans thing. And I came across like a really, really interesting take that was really, really useful for me and like led me down this rabbit hole and got here. So yeah. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. I thought that was interesting. Yeah, cool. That's kind of all I wanted to get at today. It's kind of every topic today. So where was I? If you have any topics you want to suggest for me, anything, or any comics you want me to read, hit me up in the DMs on Twitter, on Discord, or if there's any topic you want to suggest to me, just like put it in the podcast chat or DM it to me on Twitter or DM it to me on Discord as well. These are all really useful. And podcast chat, I mean the one in the Discord server. If you like my diatribe, if you like the stuff that I say, please remember that you can click the subscribe button and also click the little bell icon. I never say this. Click the fucking bell icon. I need you to click the bell icon so that like you can get the alert. Click it, god damn it. When you click it, make sure you click all. Anyway, make sure to donate to the Webcomics Hubcast on Patreon and PayPal, to Webcomics Hub on Patreon and PayPal, patreon.com/webcomics hub. I don't know what the PayPal is anymore. I don't remember, but you know, you can do whatever you want. If you donate if I get 50 patrons, I will do an entire episode of the podcast about cheese. I will buy 50 different cheeses and I will sit down and I will eat them. I will sample them with crackers and meat. And I will give my review of every cheese, every single cheese, in one sitting, in one stream, one straight stream, full camera as well. It will be a moment to witness. That sounds so painful. Fuck, why did I agree to that? I need to put that on the Patreon goals. Follow on Twitter. I have an Instagram. I don't use it, but I have it, if you care about that. I've got a lot of support from you guys lately, and I want to be honest with you, I really appreciate it. Like, I fuck around a lot, and I laugh a lot, I make a lot of dumb jokes every day. But I want you to know that I really, really appreciate everything you guys have done for me. It's been really nice to like come back to a stream where everyone's really interactive, and we're all having a fun conversation and having fun, and some new faces. I hope to see more new faces and hope to see more of you every week from now on. Next week, I'm probably going to do a watch party next week for the live action Sweet Home. So that's probably what next week is going to be. Thank you so much for sitting throughout the stream. I've been Nen. You've been awesome. And I'll see you guys next Sunday. Remember to check out, that's kind of it. Love you all. Goodbye.